So you're a veteran, you're thinking about buying a home, and you're wondering, can I afford this home? Well, in this video, we're going to go over a lot of great things about rates, about affordability, how long does it take to close. We're going to clear up a lot of misconceptions of buying a home with a VA loan. Let's get to it. Hi, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you want to know everything there is to know about owning a home and living, working, playing in Irvine, California, and surrounding communities, you've come to the right channel. So do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notification so we can make you aware of the next time we upload a new video. Hi, my name is Bruce Clark. I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker here in Newport Beach. And every day we get calls, emails, text messages from people just like you that are looking to make a move to the area. So whether you're looking to make a move in the next 5 days or 50 days or further out, do me a favor. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Irvine, California, and surrounding community. All right, so here we are, Justin Casares from Arbor Financial Group. We're going to do a deep dive into VA loans. And the impetus for this is I'm a Marine Corps veteran. It's 6 years, Semper Fi, all you devil dogs. And a lot of things I didn't know about VA loans, but I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate agent. Justin is in lending. And I just don't believe the two can really, you can do both well. You can do them. So I handle the real estate, Justin handles the loans. But there are 4 things that I just wasn't aware of. And so today we're going to talk about VA loans, we're talking about rates, we're talking about some things you can and can't do, and some things that frankly I just wasn't aware of. So appreciate you joining us, Justin. So the first thing is, what's the current loan limit and what are we looking at for rate?
Yeah, absolutely, and we appreciate everyone tuning in. First of all, I'd like to thank Bruce for his service to our country. So I love doing VA loans. That's one of my passions. It's one of the best parts of my job when you're able to help someone purchase a house using their VA financing when they've given so much to our country. So to answer your question, Bruce, is whenever I speak to a client and I know that they've served or they're active duty military, I let them know that hands down the VA loan by far is the best financing type of loan they can do, plus they've earned it. So one of the reasons it's such a great option as far as a loan is the interest rate. So VA loans typically have the lowest interest rates. Right now, you're going to be in the low 5s. So I'd say 5.25, 5.375%, which is a 30-year fixed loan, also a 0-point loan. So rates are always super low on VA.
It's about a half to 3/4 point lower than we're seeing right now.
That's correct, Bruce.
So that sounds great. As a veteran, that's literally music to my ears. So, loan rate. What do we? I like that $1.5 million house, which in Irvine is about an average priced home. So I like the home. I'm ready to pull the trigger. What can I expect as far as down payment?
So one of the biggest myths with VA loans out there is that there's loan limit. So the truth of the matter is there is no true loan limit on a VA loan. So the way it works is there is a loan limit if you want to do no down payment, because most people using their VA financing are going to do no down payment. So right now in
Wait. Zero down.
Zero down.
No money down.
No tricks.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why the VA loan is amazing. So okay. In Orange County. So
no down, interest rates are great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so far
and there's more to come.
Okay.
But in Orange County, as of now, so typically in January of each year, that's when VA releases their new increased loan limit. So they haven't released them yet. So as of today in Orange County, the loan limit for zero down on VA is $1,089,300. So let's say just hovering right over $1 million. So the way it works is as long as your loan amount is at $1,089,300 or below, you can buy that house with zero down payment. Now, let's say
what about points?
That's a 0-point loan.
Yeah. 0 down, 0 point, and a low rate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then to add to that is, let's say that you're buying a house that's maybe priced at $1.5 million. So you can still use your VA loan. The way the math is going to work on that is you would take the sales price, so $1.5 million, subtract the loan limit in Orange County, which again is $1,089,300. The difference, you take 25% of that. That 25% figure is the vet's down payment out of pocket. So in theoretically, you can buy a multi-million-dollar house using your VA, you will have some sort of down payment, but still you get the low interest rate, and of course, no PMI or mortgage insurance.
And the PMI, no mortgage insurance, is a really big deal. So basically, $1.5 million, you can come in with 100 and, let's say, sake of argument, 111,000, and you can be in $1.5 million home.
That's correct.
Wow, fantastic. So, but it takes longer to process VA loans, I think.
That's to me, that's a common myth as well. So, you know, when I talk to realtors, like if I'm talking to a listing agent selling a house, say, hey, you know, my buyer is fully qualified, we'd like to make an offer on a house. That's kind of the feedback I get from agents out there is, hey, Justin, that's great. You're doing a VA loan for your client, but we know that VA loans take longer to close. So that is a myth. So on a VA loan, it's possible, I'd say realistically on average, to close in 21 days. So you can close in 21 days, wow, which is just as fast as any other type of loan program. So it does not take longer to close. They're not more difficult. Those are all definitely myths.
Wow, okay. No down, no PMI, low rate. What happens, let's say that I pass. Mm-hmm. Let's say that my wife wants to buy a home. Can she use my benefit?
Yes, absolutely. So that's what we call surviving spouse benefits. So if you're married and unfortunately your spouse passes, is you as the widow or, you know, the surviving spouse, you're able to use your former partner's eligibility. So absolutely.
So can I buy more than one home at a time?
You can. So the way it works is you do have to get approval from VA directly on that.
Okay.
So I'll give you a very common scenario that happens a lot in real world. So you have someone that's active duty, and let's say they're stationed at Camp Pendleton, for example. Okay. They get orders to transfer to a different base. As long as you're transferring out to another base, you can definitely buy another VA home and keep both of your eligibilities open.
That's for active. What about for someone like myself, veteran, Orange County?
So what happens, so if you're a vet, so you're not active duty, and you own a house that has VA financing, it is possible to purchase a secondary house with the VA financing. What gets a little tricky there is we have to establish or confirm with VA how much eligibility you have left on the VA, and that determines what kind of down payment, if any, you would need to do on the secondary property.
Okay. So I know I have eligibility certificates and things like that. What if someone doesn't have one? How do they go about procuring a
so that's one of the things with me, with any client, any type of loan, is I'm very hands-on to kind of do the heavy lifting for them, so to speak. So what I always tell my clients is most of the time, so if we're working with a VA buyer, one of the first things I ask for them is their DD-214 or the discharge papers. Typically with that, we can go online with VA directly and within minutes pull their COE or a certificate of eligibility. Sometimes it takes VA a little bit longer. That would be someone that's been out of service for longer, you know, in the past. But typically, to answer your question, we can get it online within minutes.
Okay. So DD-214, the discharge papers, and it's interesting because when I talk to people, it's, well, I've helped veterans. I said, well, did you ask for their DD-214? And they say, what is that? I know that they've never helped a veteran because that is a very critical piece of paper, so to speak. That shows all kinds of things about the service. And
that's correct.
So we can buy more than one home. We have great rates, no PMI, no down. What happens if, God forbid, the buyer gets in a financial situation where they've either defaulted or they've actually gone to foreclosure? How then would they be able to? Because, you know, 2006 to 2008, a lot of people lost their home.
Yeah, it's a great question. So, you know, what I would say is, you know, VA, they always put their vets or active duty members first. So if someone is unfortunately going through a financial hardship, is what we always direct them to do is, hey, contact VA, be honest about your situation. Typically they're there to help. So that would be up to VA. But what I have seen in previous circumstances is VA is very willing to help. And the last thing anyone wants is for that vet to lose their property. No one wants that. So it's a lot easier for people to keep things, you know, up and up when you have a VA loan versus other type of loans.
Right. During the buying process, there's a separate inspection by a VA inspector. a home inspection and you have a VA inspector. Is that the case? And a VA inspector would be the lender?
No, so the only thing that's different on a VA loan, say that versus an FHA or conventional, is on a VA loan, it's mandatory that you have your termite inspection report. So most buyers are going to do a termite report anyways, but as a lender, we never require the termite report. So on a VA loan, it's mandatory that the buyer does a termite inspection, and also the buyer signs that inspection report. So that's the only difference with a VA loan. Really not a big deal at all.
So there's no separate home inspection. I mean,
No,
they're going to have it inspected.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, just the appraisal. So we would do the appraisal where it's different on the appraisal too. So the appraisal on VA loans is you order those through VA.
Okay.
So let's say someone's buying a house in Newport, in Irvine, VA is going to assign one of their approved VA appraisers that's specific to that area.
Okay, so that's separate from the lender. So that will be from the VA. Okay,
That's correct.
So it's the appraiser. The market's shifted. It's 2022. We're seeing concessions. We're seeing loan buy downs, all kinds of things. So it's not like it was 6 months ago where there's 15 people standing outside and they're throwing money and they're waving things, which I always hated. Can you do rate buy downs? What kind of concessions? What are we capped at?
Yeah, great question. So on VA allows the buyer to get up to 6% of the price of the house as a concession, which would be typically a credit. So you got seller credit, lender credit. To further answer your question, Bruce, is yes, you can do buy downs, which is basically paying additional money to buy down to a lower interest rate. And the seller is able to subsidize or credit the buy down. So the vet or the buyer is not paying that out of pocket.
Wow, that's big. When you alluded to it earlier, when in the past I've gone to an agent and say, hey, I have a buyer, they're using their VA, COE, certificate of eligibility. They want to use a VA loan. I've got some pushback. What are you finding in today's market?
Yeah, so what I see in any market, and so, just to give an example, is any buyer I'm working with, when they find a house they like, they submit an offer on the house, I always make it a habit to call the listing agent just to do a warm introduction. Hey, I'm the lender, our buyer's qualified, we're a local lender, we're gonna perform. We're here to close escrow for you and your seller. So when I'm working with a VA client, I just emphasize to the listing agent or realtor selling the house that yes, my buyer is using a VA loan, but I offset the stigma there that basically, hey, we are gonna be able to close quickly. And kind of like we touched on the DD 214 is when the listing agent can hear in your voice that you know what you're doing. This isn't the first time you've done a VA loan. They can feel the confidence. That goes a long way. And, I think just like us, a lot of people out there, they want to give back to the vets and give back for all they've done for us in the country.
And I really appreciate what you do for veterans because it's a small group of us anymore. It seems smaller and smaller. So you alluded to when we first met, you alluded to the fact that you're a member of an organization for veterans. What is that organization?
Yeah, so it's called VAREP, which is VA Real Estate Professionals. So there are chapters all over the country. I'm of course in the Orange County chapter. So what that entails is I had to go through different training and certification. One of the most simple things is you'd be surprised that many lenders, when they're taking an application from a client, a buyer, say, is they don't ask that very important question, have you ever served? So a lot of times VA buyers aren't even knowing that they can do a VA loan. So to answer your question, there's special training certification I went through, but really the most important thing to me of VA Rep is giving back to the community. So I'll give you an example. There's a local organization called Working Wardrobes. They're based out of Irvine. And basically what they do is they collect gently used professional clothing. So they have a big warehouse, and then if there's a veteran that's down on their luck, maybe they're unemployed, they'll have them come in, they'll give them a nice suit, get them looking nice and professional, but also to take it further is they train them on interviewing skills. So they'll make them look the best they can, and they'll also help them, hey, let's go through like a mock interview. So basically they're helping put the best foot forward for the vet and getting them back into their workforce. So it's a really great organization. They've done a fashion show in the past. It's really neat to give back. So I've helped organize big clothing drives where we just donate a bunch of clothes and hopefully that's helping vets get back into the workforce.
Yeah, that's. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
makes you feel good.
it certainly does. So Bruce Clark, Coldwell Banker, Justin Casares, Arbor Financial Group. I'm going to have Justin's contact information below. Certainly, subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell for notification. We'd love to make you aware of when we upload new videos. And these are videos, you've seen our other, please take a look at our other videos. We go in new homes, we go in communities, we do deep dives into community. We also want to give back to community with information. I think these kind of videos are critical because even as a veteran, I had a lot of misconceptions. So things like this are critical. So whether you're looking to buy in the next 5 days, 50 days, or further out, give me a call, shoot us a text, send them an email. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Irvine, Santa Ana, Huntington Beach, all the surrounding communities here in Orange County.